Yo, it's Kingdom of Boxing. I want to talk about this weekend's fight between Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. Firstly, it was a great fight. Big up to Canelo Alvarez for getting the victory, or hats off to him. Showed great power and proved me wrong. So, got a great victory over a great champion. So, hats off to Canelo Alvarez. Now, how did I score the fight? I scored the fight. I gave Canelo Alvarez the first 4 rounds, and I gave Billy Joe Saunders. I think I gave Billy Joe Saunders round 5, 6, 7, and then obviously got injured in round 8. So that was a Canelo round. But I was giving that to Billy Joe as well. I feel like Billy Joe was just coming on, just as the injury happened. I felt like round 5, 6, 7, he started to take over, started to get into his groove, started to get used to Canelo's power a lot more, getting used to his timing, started to throw back a bit more. So it was a shame that he got caught with that shot that he got caught with. It was a great uppercut. Big up to Canelo. Uh, Billy Joe didn't see it coming, I don't think. He threw a sloppy right hook, ducked down, and leant right into the uppercut. So it's his own fault, you know. It is what it is. Boxing. It was a bad injury, and I agree with him pulling out in the fight. If I was him, I would have pulled out as well. The injury looked very bad. It swelled up literally in seconds. It looked like he'd actually broken, and his eye socket had sunk in. So I don't blame him for pulling out. And if I was in his shoes, I would have done the same thing. I would have pulled straight out there. Like, you've just got your eye socket smashed. You don't know how serious it is. You don't know what's gonna happen. And on top of that, you want me to go out there and carry on fighting? Fuck that. From there, you're not going to win the fight anyway. Your injury is too bad to like really come back. I feel like anyway. So the best thing to do is just hang up, throw the towel in right now, and then live to fight another day maybe. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't call Billy Joe a quitter and this and that. It's arguable. There's an argument for both sides. But until you've actually gone through that injury and had your eye socket smashed and then carried on fighting it, the pound for pound number one fighter in boxing, who's got great power, and then if you fight through that and then beat him, or just fight through that, then maybe you could talk. Like Fernando Vargas, he spoke about it. He can speak, but for all these little clowns in the comment sections and this and that, like, you man can't talk, calling man this and that, like, while you sat at home fucking drinking 4 pints of lager and two packets of cigarettes a day. You know what I'm saying? Get off his dick with that shit, man. Now, where it does look bad for Billy Joe Saunders, and maybe he does deserve some of the criticism, is because of what he said about Daniel Dubois when he got his eye broken, and we know what happened there. So hopefully, what happens is Billy Joe Saunders will come out and take back what he said. Maybe not straight away, but one day come back, take back what he said, and apologise to Daniel Dubois. Do you know what I mean? So what else? And big up to Daniel Dubois for showing a great class in his comments about Billy Joe Saunders. He didn't disrespect him. He just kept it moving. Do you know what I'm saying? So hats off to Daniel Dubois for that. Talk about Billy Joe Saunders' dad, because his dad also got into a scrap as the fight got ended. His dad tried to jump over the barricades, tried to jump the ring. Security guard grabbed him and pushed him flight, like rammed him back into the corner, and then from there, like, Saunders' team jumped in, a lot more security jumped in. It just got a lot messy. Fury was there, he never got involved, and I'm glad he didn't get involved. A lot of people saying he should have got involved. No, like, all that happened was his dad got shoved. Do you know what I mean? His dad got shoved about. I think he fell on his ass, but he got straight back up there, and he was jumped straight back in there. He's trying to fight with securities again. So you know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of life in him. He didn't get mugged off. He was up for it. Now Fury, people saying he should have got involved. Why wanted back in Billy Joe's dad? Well, like, you can't expect somebody, a superstar like that, just to get involved in random fights and fucking just jumping into any beef and just throwing hands and just getting into fights. Like, you don't do that. Like, just like, for example, the Mayweather versus Zab Judah fight. Who remembers that? Come on, everyone remembers that fight. And who remembers when Zab Judah and Roger Mayweather started going at it halfway through the fight. And you see Zab Judah running over there. But that's the thing. People are different. Some people are smarter than others. Did you see what happened? Zab Judah ran over there, started getting involved into the fight. Zab Judah's dad got involved in the fight. Roger Mayweather got involved in the fight. And did you see what Mayweather did? Mayweather was pretending, at first he was pretending that his balls are hurting. Jumped into the corner there, like putting on the show. He's turned around, seen everybody fighting. He forgot all about his balls. You see his face change. He's just like, what the fuck? He just sat in the corner and did not get involved. Even though his uncle was fighting, Zab Judah got involved. Zab Judah's trainer. Do you know what I'm saying? Mayweather sat in the corner and said, nah, this shit's bullshit. I need to get my paycheck. I can't risk none of this shit. Criminal charges or any other bullshit. I need to get my fucking paycheck. I need to keep it running, keep it smooth. Just like Tyson Fury did. Do you know what I'm saying? So what else have we got to say? So yeah, like, it wasn't that serious. Billy Joe's dad got pushed about. Maybe he went about it wrong way, jumping over there like that. And maybe the security guard knew I don't know if they knew who he was or not, but I'm pretty sure they knew who he was. And maybe they didn't like him, do you know what I mean? Maybe they didn't like Billy Joe, or fuck, maybe he was a big Canelo fan, I don't know. But either way, man, it was a bit of a mess, but nothing too serious. Now, where does Billy Joe go from here? In my opinion, it depends on the injury. It depends on all depends on the injury, how the injury heals, how he feels, how motivated he is, and that's what it all depends on. So we'll see how he feels and what he says, and if he does come back, he needs to obviously have a couple of tune-ups, see how the eye is, and if the eye's okay, then who knows, we could see him in some good fights. You could see a lot of fights out there to still have. The Callum Smith fight, the Liam Williams fight, the Demetrius Andre fight, the what's his name, Golovkin fight. Lots of fights out there to have still. So, and Billy Joe definitely up there to get any of them fights. Everybody be willing to fight him. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what's for Billy Joe next. I wish him the best. He's a great fighter, one of my favourite fighters. It's a shame what's happened, man. I don't think he'll ever be the same fighter again. But that's what happens. Like, my favourite fighters just keep getting crushed. Like, same thing happened to Kell Brook. He got his eye broken, and that was it. It was over. And then Billy Joe's got his eye broken. I don't know what's gonna happen from here. Like, Amir Khan was one tough motherfucker. How did he never get his eye broken all these years? He just used to get knocked out, innit? That's why. Fuck knows, man. I'm gonna leave it here, man. Let me know what you lot think about Billy Joe Saunders. Do you think he's right to pull out? How did you see the fight going? Do you feel like if it wasn't for the eye injury, Billy Joe Saunders would have started taking over later on in the fight? I actually seen Canelo looking very tired and actually started to struggle with Billy Joe as the fight went on. But then he obviously got gassed once he caught him with that uppercut and he seen the injury. He got gassed and started putting on the show. So lucky in my opinion, man, but it's boxing, man. Alright, I've rambled on long enough. I just wanted to speak about the Billy Joe situation. I obviously predicted Billy Joe to win. I'm gonna eat my crow. I've been eating crow since Saturday night. So yeah, man, fire your shots, do your worst, man. I'm here still. Kingdom of Boxing, I'm out. Peace.